Good morning, Clarity Yoga. I'm gonna come to you and do some yoga, share it with you guys, and I wanna make sure that you guys join in. So I'm gonna attempt to get these up online on a regular basis for you as we prepare to go virtually with our fitness classes. Absolute Best is going to have an online presence. We're going to have sit and fit, and we're going to have yoga, and we're going to have bar classes, we're going to have Mambo Mania classes, but we're going to do them virtually so that if you can't come into the studio, you can at least be able to do it online. And you know, you guys, you can mirror this on your TVs, and you can watch it on the big screen, and you can join and follow along with what we're doing, okay? So I'm still drinking my morning coffee. So today we're going to go ahead and start on the floor. Oh, you know what? One of the things that I like to share with people is we want to get to the point in our lives. I've been around for a while, and getting down and getting back up off the ground is sometimes a little bit of an issue with people. So the ultimate goal is to be able to get up without using your hands and get back down without using your hands. Now I have a bad knee, I have limitations on this knee, so I really have to anchor myself with my good knee. But like I was saying yesterday, you work around your limitations. If you can't cross your legs and sit in lotus, then I would recommend that you straddle your legs. And if you can't straddle wide, come here a little bit more, because the whole idea when you're seated is that you want to sit on your sits bones. You want to make sure that you're not falling back. You want to be upright as much as possible. Almost feel like you're doing a posterior tilt on your pelvis. You're pointing the tailbone back. So I'm going to start cross-legged. And we're going to just sit nice and tall. Remember, you can still straddle the legs if you'd like. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale. Palms together, exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. You're going to tilt your body to one side and bring that elbow down towards the ground as you peek under your arm. And you want to press your opposite hip down into the ground. Hold it. And then you're going to reach up and over to the other side. Take a deep breath and bear down into the ground, placing that elbow on the ground, and try to keep the opposite hip down on the floor. Back to your center. Inhale, both arms up. So the key to this exercise is you want to feel as if your trunk, your upper body, is able to move independent of your lower body. So you want to create a range of motion in your trunk so that you get your spine to become agile, and you want to articulate that spine. Ooh, I just had a little bit of a crack in my back. So that you can do all the motions that your spine is meant to do. Lateral movements, how we started, side to side, rotational movements, and then you want to be able to flex your spine forward, so get your elbows on the ground, top of the head towards the floor. And those of you who have issues with your lumbar area, this is a really good exercise. Pull your belly button into your spine and feel as if you're stretching that lower back. Drop down and try to get the top of the head towards the ground. Now, some of you may not be able to go down that far, so if this is as far as you can go, that's fine. But if you utilize your abdominals and really contract the abdominal wall, you'll get down lower. And you should feel a good stretch through your hips as well. And slowly rise up. Place your hands back behind you. And really press your arms by your spine, so you almost feel like you have two pillars alongside your spine. And retract those shoulder blades, point your chin up. So you've taken every movement of your trunk. You've gone into flexion, extension, lateral movement, and rotation. Always make sure that you do something with your body that allows you to use full range of motion with your trunk. Exhale. Good morning, Loie. Extend the legs out. Lock the knees, and I'm going to make sure that the back of the knees are flush down into the ground. So Miss Loie is going to be training in the background. You're going to lean forward and stretch out those hamstrings. And to do that, you're going to waddle your hips side to side. You're going to grab those ankles. And again, this is forward flexion. So you're going to maximize the stretch in that lumbar area by grabbing those ankles, bending the elbows. Your goal is to bend the elbows down towards the floor and the top of the head down towards your knees. Remember to kind of wiggle side to side. Use a little force with your arms to pull you down. Keep locking the knees. I'm wiggling my toes. Flex your feet. Now you're going to go into flexion again, into extension again. Grabbing your toes. If you can, get your heels up off the ground. If you can't, that's fine. You can put your hands up a little bit higher so that you're on your shins, and do as much as you can to flex those toes back. Chin up, chest out, and remember what I talked about yesterday, forward, out, and back. And now neutral spine, just come sit right on top of your hips, point and flex those feet, locking those knees as much as possible. Now I want you to squeeze your hips, turn your toes out, and circle the ankles. And then reverse it. You're going to point one toe down, flex the other one up, lock the knees, pull that belly button into your spine, alternate right and left. And very slowly relax once again, bend forward once again, but this time I want your hands back behind you. And just kind of drape your body down. You can still wiggle, and let gravity be your assistant to bring you down closer to the ground. Deep breath. As you inhale, you're going to feel that your body floats up a little bit, and then as you exhale, it goes deeper into your stretch. And the only thing that's taking you down lower are the abdominal muscles. You're contracting and you're flexing your body forward into a rounded position. And then slowly stack one vertebra on top of the other, coming back up to neutral. Arms up, inhale, exhale, and again inhale, and exhale. You're gonna cross your right knee over your left. You're gonna lace one elbow and your fingertips together, and you're gonna turn your chin back behind you. You're gonna feel a good long stretch through your piriformis, through your hip. Pull your belly button into your spine. Make sure that you feel the sole of the foot firmly into the floor on the opposite side. And then you're going to slowly slide that leg down. And you're going to change to the opposite side. Elbow wraps around that knee. The most important thing that you want to concentrate on is making sure that both those hips are evenly spread across that floor. And your chin tries to go right over your shoulder behind you. And your foot forces down into the ground. And release. Excellent. We're going to stretch out the quad. So I want you to take one knee, bend it, and place it right down behind you. Now, you may be limited with your range of motion. You may be limited with how that knee can bend. You may not be able to do that. So just do what you can. Maybe your knee is here, and you just kind of let that knee drop in. But if you have the flexibility to stretch it in, just kind of sit back and throw your hip under, and that stretches the quadricep. And super easy stretch. This is called a runner stretch. And now we're going to move over to the other side. I don't have that same kind of flexibility on this side. One hand back. So the idea here is you want to try and drop that hip as low as you can to the floor. I can't do it on this side because I do not have flexion on that knee. But I am stretching it as much as I can. So you want to support yourself. My hands are back behind me if you can't see. My hands are supporting me. And I'm stretching that knee. Excellent. And swing it around. Now we're going to straddle the legs. And you're going to go as wide as you can with those thighs. And let's go side to side. Reach to one side and reach to the opposite side. So we're going to go 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to go over to one side and we're going to stretch one arm up overhead. Keep the opposite hip down and stay. Deep breath in. See how I float up a little bit and exhale down. And another breath in. And down. Let's go straight up. Grab the other ankle. Pull yourself over. Keep the opposite hip downward towards the ground. Inhale. Exhale. And again, inhale. Exhale. Really, I have to work hard on keeping that opposite hip down into the ground. Okay, we're going to do a full body circle. So you're going to follow me, one arm overhead, then you're going to rotate your chest to face down, and then you're going to swing around to the front, and then you're going to continue to the opposite side, then rotate your body to the side, and come up. So let's do 4 of those. This is 1, and swoop. And again, 2. Inhale as you come up, exhale as you come down. When I'm up, I'm trying to arch up, look up, extend my spine, and keep it as extended as possible as you come forward. Good, now we're going to reverse it. Other side. Inhale on the top. And slowly but surely you start feeling that body release the tension and you start becoming more limber. One more all the way around. out again. Once more, you're gonna go side to side, and you're gonna be feeling as if your rib cage was sliding across your pelvis. So you're working transstationally, working your transverse abdominals, working through your pelvic floor. I want you to feel like there's a vacuum pulling all your organs inward and upward. Every once in a while, kind of check your straddle. You should be a little bit more warmed up and you should be able to move forward a little bit more. Very good. Arms up center. And once again, arms up center. And out. Now, we're going to bring one knee in. You're going to flex the opposite leg. So the other foot is flexed. You're going to take one arm towards that toe. If you can't reach your toe, reach for your shin. And then you're going to peek under that arm. And then take it out. You're going to place one hand behind you, point that toe. You're going to thrust your hips forward and anchor yourself so that you can stretch and look back behind you. So you're getting a good stretch through those hip flexors. And you're lifting your chest. Swoop around. Take both hands towards your toe. Flex your body forward. Try to drive your elbows to the ground. And round it out. You're going to move over to the opposite side. So you're going to have your other leg out. Bend the other knee. And you're going to flex that toe. One arm reaches for your toe. And you're going to peek under that arm. Take it up. Anchor yourself on the ground with the opposite arm, with the arm that was just overhead. Point your toe. You're going to thrust your hips forward and anchor yourself with that arm and throw your hips to the front. Looking back behind you. And then scoop down. Flex your toe. And flex your body forward. Trying to drive the elbows to the ground. And slowly round it up. Extend both legs out in front of you again. Take the arms up and then wait. Kind of waddle those hips. And now you should feel that it's much, much easier to get down on the floor. Not on the floor, to get down with your nose towards your knees. So we've been stretching for a good 20 minutes or so. And you have a lot more flexibility now that you've warmed up. So this time, see if you can get as far as you can. And hold a good 20 seconds. If you want to give yourself added pressure, you can put your fingertips on the back of your head and neck and gently bear down. Or you can just keep your hands here. To come up, I want you to flex your feet, chin up, chest out, and flatten your back again. Okay, today we're going to do a little bit for the core. We're going to do a lot of abdominals since we're down on the floor. And I want you to really concentrate on trying to keep your lower back stable, not hyperextended. I'll show you the difference between the two. Let's do that right now. I want you to roll down, and you can put your hands on your knees to help you. Come down. And what you want to do here is make sure that the soles of the feet are firmly on the floor. I wonder if you can't really see it in the mirror. But you do want to have your feet firmly down on the ground. And separate your legs just a slight bit so that your hips, your knees, and your ankles are in one straight line. All I want you to do is a pelvic tilt. I want you to tilt your pelvis up so that it's an anterior tilt, so the front part of your pelvis is pointing upward. That forces your lower back into the ground. Exhale, blow all the air out of your body. That engages your core, it squeezes your hips, the backs of your thighs should feel like they're tight, your feet should be firmly into the ground. Push all the air out of your body. Now, inhale and reverse that move. What you're gonna do is you're gonna arch your back. There should be enough space for you to push your hand through your lower back. Make a little bit of a house for mouse back there. And then drop in and contract and point your tailbone upward towards the ceiling. So let's do that a couple of times. Engage your glutes, the back of your thighs, your feet firmly into the ground. Exhale, blow all the air out. And then inhale. Arch, way back. Excellent. Good. And one more time. Last time. Exhale. Push your feet firmly into the ground. And then inhale. Arch. So you see you're articulating your lumbar area, okay? And your sacral area is also working because you're using your lower pelvic floor through this. Let's just do it one more time. And arch. Now, neutral is right between those two. So you're not arched, you're not tucked under, you're right in the middle, but there's still engagement. You're still wanting to engage those abdominal muscles, okay? Feel like there's a nice contraction coming from the outside into the middle. Place your hands firmly on the ground, pick one leg up, and then the other one, and you've got both knees bent at 90 degrees, and then you want to put your palms out to the side. Now both knees are going to fall over to the side, and now we're doing a little bit of a spinal twist with your legs, and then to come back up, you're going to work through your obliques. You're going to press on the opposite side of the ground, and you're going to exhale and bring your knees back to center. Let's do it to the other side. Head and neck away from the knees. Inhale. Deep breath in. Breathe in, and then when you come center, breathe out. So this is a really good exercise for your abdominals, for your obliques, great for your waistline. Let's do that 4 times. Inhale. And then exhale. And the other side. Inhale. Exhale. You can be your own chiropractor. This is a great way to align your spine and get all the vertebrae, each one of them, to align one on top of the other. And again, inhale. Exhale. You want to make sure that you articulate your spine as much as possible throughout the day, because you want a sense of mobility and a range of motion through your spine. Inhale and exhale. Now place one foot down, followed by the other. I have a lot of patients and clients that complain about sciatica. And here's a great exercise to open up your sciatica if it stems from the piriformis. There's a lot of different reasons why somebody might suffer sciatica pain, but this is a great exercise as it has to do with your hips, with your piriformis. You cross one foot underneath and gently push that knee out. At the same time, do that pelvic tilt that I was showing you. So you do a little bit of that anterior pelvic tilt and push that leg out, and do it with your own Strength. Try not to push it with your hand. Do it with your abdominal strength. Pressure away from your body. Hold it. Inhale. And exhale. Release it. And do it one more time. Pressure. Pushing the supporting foot firmly into the ground. Pushing the other knee way out. Utilizing the strength in the lower pelvic floor. Bearing down. Belly button tries to touch your spine touches the ground. Now come back to neutral and change legs. Same thing, all you're doing is pushing that hip out, utilizing your own strength. So you're flaring that knee into a wide open position, you're contracting through the abdominals, and you're bearing down into the floor with your lower back. Your palms are also forcing into the floor. The foot on the ground is pushing into the floor as well. Exhale, blow all the air out. Inhale and come neutral. Excellent. Let's disengage here. Let's do it again now, a little more advanced. You're going to cross that knee, and now you're going to lift this leg up. If you have the flexibility to thread your hands through that leg and bring it in, that's a much more severe stretch for that hip joint. Inhale and exhale. Now you're going to bring that leg down and just kind of fold your body to a spinal twist like we did before, but just keep that knee crossed where it was. Head and neck in the opposite direction and come back to center and switch legs. So you're going to cross your other knee and make sure you readjust your hips so that everything is very neutral and lined up. So you're lifting that bottom leg. If you're flexible enough to thread your hands through that leg and pull the other knee in somewhat, you're going to feel a good long pull through that piriformis area, all those muscles that work on your outer hip. Bringing that leg down, keeping your foot on top of that knee, rotate over to the opposite side. Inhale, exhale. And back to center. Undo your legs, pull both knees in. Stretch those knees, open apart, bring those knees towards your underarms. And now you're going to do a circular motion. You're going to go 4 and 2. And you're going to reverse it. 4. Excellent. You're going to bring your feet down on the ground again. Take one knee in, extend the other leg out. So now we're going to get a good long stretch through that front hip because you're bearing down into the floor with that leg. I really want you to put pressure into the ground with that leg. And then take the other leg and stretch that hamstring. Now, some of you may not be able to take the leg that high. So if it's here, if that's as far as you can get your leg, that's fine. If you're a lot more flexible, you can grab that ankle and see if you can pull it and circle that ankle. 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse. And all those yogis out there that can really take that leg in, do whatever you can to maximize that stretch, go ahead and do it. And then slowly, you're going to bring that leg down. Now, if you need to hold the leg to guide it down, great. Hold it and guide it down. If you can do it without holding the leg, but do not arch your back on this. Keep your back neutral as you lower that leg down. Other side. Knee in. Tuck it in towards your underarms. Straighten that leg. Make sure the opposite leg bears down into the floor. And you're going to circle that ankle. 4, 3, and reverse. And if you're really, really flexible, just take that leg as far back as you can. And you can guide it down if you'd like. Or you can let it go and do it without any hands. Remember, the whole time you've got to keep that back neutral. Don't hyperextend your lower back. Pull your knees into your chest. Take both legs straight up. And again, if this is as high as you can get those legs, that's fine. And we want to stretch those hamstrings. Now, if this feels uncomfortable and you can't do it, put one foot on the ground and hold and stretch the one leg. But if you can do both legs, go ahead. Now flex your toes, see if you can grab your toes and pull. If you cannot do that, just put your hands on the knees. Remember, if you're here, that's fine. Just go where you can. And if it's too hard to do it with both legs, just do one leg at a time. And now I want you to rotate the toes way out to the side and straddle the legs. If you want, you can place your hands inside the thighs and stretch those legs apart. And if you can't go that low, just wherever you can, grab the inner thighs and stretch. If you have the ability to go super stretched, then do that. And then slowly bring the legs together. And point your toes, bend the knees in, one leg down, followed by the other. Cross the right knee over, and do another spinal twist. This time, you're gonna assist it by pushing one knee down, turn away from it with your opposite side, looking away from the knee. And let's switch it to the other side. Twist again. And pull the knees into your chest. Okay, we're gonna do the Pilates 100s if you can. So that means you're gonna have both legs up off the ground. You're gonna pull your body up, your lower back is gonna be on the floor, and you're gonna 100 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out. And that's 10, and you're gonna do that 10 times, 100. Now, if you can't do that, put one foot on the floor and do 50 with one foot and then 50 with the other foot. But if you can do both legs out, that's good. Inhaling, exhaling. Squeeze your glutes tight. And I really don't know how many I've done. Pull the knees into the chest. Stretch out. Okay, now you're going to hold your hands underneath your glutes. You're going to flex your feet. This is another Pilates exercise. And we're going to do what I call the frog leap. So you're going to press your heels together. You're going to work your inner thighs and you're going to work your abdominals. Your hands underneath your glutes is really a good idea because it kind of makes a little cradle for your lower back. It stabilizes your hips so that you're not arching your lower back to do these. Do about 20 of these. Stop and rest if you need to. Inhaling and exhaling. I'm going to do 10 more. Stop and rest if you have to. And relax. Knees into the chest. Straighten the legs up. Turn the toes out. And once again, inner thigh stretch. Legs together. Knees in. And extend the legs out. Arms up overhead. Big circles. Let's do 4 and 3. So you can see me 2. 1, reverse it, 4, and 3, and 2, and one. Pull the knees into your chest. You're going to give yourself a spinal rock and sit up. Now, if you can't get up like that, if you're here, all you do is turn yourself to the side, anchor yourself, and come up. All right, so let's go to all fours. And what we're going to do is a little bit for our back. We're going to do cat and cow like we did yesterday. So we're going to tuck under and arch back. And again, tucking under and arch back. Tuck under and arch back. Neutral spine, okay? So right in between those two. So you're going to bring your knees together and you're going to extend the right leg out and you're going to extend the left arm out. And you're going to pull your knee into your elbow and then you're going to go. So let's go 8 and 7, 6, using your abs, 5, but you're also using your back on this, 2 and 1. Hold it here, balance, and release. Other side. Leg out, and you want to try and keep your hips as even as possible. You don't want to be turned out like that. You want to try and be even here. And 8 again. Hold in, 2. So you're contracting your abdominals. Hold it. And release. Okay, we're going to get ourselves into that child's pose. Pull your knees apart. Sit back into your hips. Reach the arms out. I like to put my arms in karate chop position. And drop into that child's pose. Then slide your hands under your chest, rise up, bring your knees together, and right leg back, flexing the foot so. What you want to feel on this is you want to feel like your foot is on the ground and you're pushing into the ground with the foot. So you're going to press that foot down and extend that arm out. You're just stretching that calf. Pull your belly button into your spine. Hold it. And you're going to do it to the other side. So you're going to just flex that toe and push into the ground so you're stretching that calf. And the opposite arm goes out. Hold. And release. Now we're going to do more exercises that work the lumbar area and the glutes to strengthen that lower back. So if anybody has a problem with sciatica, these are all really, really good exercises for that. Okay, so we're going to be flat down on the ground, and you're going to place your hands under your thighs. So you're going to have your fingertips on the front of your thigh. Okay? Let's see. I want to make sure you guys see. So you're going to have your fingertips on the front of your thighs. You're going to roll onto your fingertips so you've got like a little bit of leverage on the ground, and you're going to be able to lift your legs up off the ground. And what I want you to do is flex your heels in and point your toes out. Let's go 10, 9, 7, and 6, 5, 4 more, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Hold it. Stay there if you can. And then release down. Place your hands under your chest. Prop your chest up. And go into a nice, easy cobra. You can just relax your legs. If you can't stretch all the way up, you can bend the elbows and just stay with your elbows into your rib cage. Drop in, bend the knees, prop yourself up, open the knees, toes together, back down into your child's pose. And slide your hands under your shoulders, prop yourself up, and then once again, foot down, roll your body down. This time, we're gonna do one leg up, your other toe if you want. Your toes can stay flexed on the floor, okay, for leverage. Or you can relax them down on the ground, whichever you feel more comfortable doing. So you're gonna be placing one hand under your shoulder, and you're going to be lifting that same leg up. Whichever hand is under your shoulder, that's the leg that you're going to lift up. The opposite hand is going to come up like this. So you've got one arm out. Hope you can see. One arm out, one leg up. Hold. And relax. Same thing on the other side. Leg up. The opposite arm is on the ground. Or opposite. Let me see if I can show you this way. So one hand is on the ground. The opposite hand is here. And relax. Both hands under your shoulders, bend the knees. Back into your child's pose. Knees apart, stretch out. Round it up. Bring your knees in so that your knees and your hands are lined up with each other. So you're going to do your cat and cow again. Rounding and releasing. And again, rounding and releasing. And two more. Rounding and release. Flex your toes and let's move into a down dog. Bring your legs close together. One leg up. Doing a three-legged. Bring that leg down, switch it, let's do the other side. Move into a plank. If you can, come down to your elbows. Now, all I want you to do is soften the knees and straighten them for 10. 1. If you have to stop and rest, please do. These are all really good core exercises. You're going to bend the knees, open the knees apart, shift back into your child's pose again. Hands under your shoulders, rise up, settle down on your side. So we're going to do a little bit to stretch through the quads. So you're going to be on your side, you're going to be propped up on your elbow, one knee is bent underneath you, you're going to bend the top leg up, grab your ankle, straighten the bottom leg out, and do your dancer pose on the floor. Inhaling and exhaling. You're going to bring that knee in, extend, and prop yourself through the center. Swivel both legs to the other side. Repeat the exercise on the opposite side. So you really want to feel like you're pulling your waistline up. You're going to bring your knee in. You're going to grab your ankle. Your opposite leg straightens out. And you're doing a dancer pose on the floor. Really lock your knee. That extends out in front of you. And you're pushing hard against your hand that's holding that ankle. Come center. Prop yourself up. Extend the legs out in front of you. Nice deep breath. Inhale up. Exhale and grab those ankles. Always kind of waddle those hips back and forth so that you really maximize the stretch in those hamstrings. Round your body, use your abdominals to round in. You're going to be much, much more flexible now. We've been doing this all morning, so now your body has a lot more fluidity. It's much more agile, it's much more flexible. You should feel that back opening out. Round up inch by inch. Place your hands back behind you, flex your feet, and really feel like you're anchoring your palms firmly into the ground. Chin up, chest out. Point your toes. And what I want you to do on this one, when you point your toes, turn them out so the outside of your toes are really pushed into the floor. If you have the strength in your wrist to hold you, I want you to squeeze your butt tight and lift the hips up. So you want to try and get your hips up and look back. Now obviously if you can't do that, just force your feet into the ground, lift the chest, and do it like this. But if you have the strength, lift. And slowly bring it down. Once again, you're going to stretch through your hamstrings. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Waddle those hips back and forth, drop in and breathe. Slowly roll it up. We're going to just sit in lotus. And remember, if you can't cross your legs and sit in lotus, you can always straddle your legs. The idea is I want you to be nice and straight with your spine. So that was good for today. I think these stay up for 30 days on Facebook, so when you have a moment, start back at the beginning and watch the whole thing. And yesterday I did a class too. So I'm gonna try and do this on a regular basis with you guys. Thumb and index finger. Rest your wrist on the knees. If you're in a straddle, just rest your hands on your thighs. And I want a super straight spine. Close your eyes. Let your eyes feel like they're rolling up into your forehead. Inhale. Remember how I taught you to breathe yesterday. Expand through your waistline. Inhale. And exhale. And again, deep breath. Inhale until you cannot breathe another bit of air into your lungs. Then hold it, sustain it, and then exhale and make sure you push all the air out. One last time, inhale. And exhale. And just take a moment before you rush out of here. Make sure that your spine is super straight, your neck is relaxed. And just feel the vibration that's working itself through your body. Take a moment to appreciate your body, which is your vehicle that carries you through this life. Be grateful that it allows you to move from point A to point B. Thank your feet, thank your legs, thank your arms, thank your hands, and most of all, thank your spine for being able to keep you erect. Always give yourself space between each vertebra and each disc. No compression. And let's just sit for a moment in gratitude and appreciation. And whenever you're ready, I want you to begin to wiggle your fingertips, circle your wrists, slowly open your eyes, take a nice deep breath, inhale up, exhale to your heart space, thumbs right at the chest, see if you can't feel the palpitation of your heart. A couple more breaths. Fingertips to your forehead. Namaste. And I want you to have a blessed day and take a little bit of this peace and tranquility with you throughout the rest of your day. Enjoy.